Well, good morning, Lufkin Central and online worship community. My name is Jason Hollinger. I'm the preaching and community minister here. And this morning we are going to be spending some time in Deuteronomy chapter 3. The book of Deuteronomy begins with these words. These are the words that Moses spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan in the wilderness in the Arabah opposite Suf between Paran and Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizabah. It is 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. In the 14th year, on the first day of the 11th month, Moses spoke to the people of Israel according to all that the Lord God had commanded, had given him in commandment to them. And what we then read is how kind of throughout these early chapters is about the wilderness years and the battles that they began to have. Chapter 2, the defeat of King Sihon, and chapter 3, the defeat of King Og, the king of Bashan. And so that's where we're going to pick up in Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 1. We're going to read a little, issue the challenge, and send you on your way. Deuteronomy chapter 3. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan. And Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to the battle of Idrei. But the Lord said to me, Do not fear him, for I have given him and all his people and his land into your hand, and you shall do to him as you did to Sihon the king of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon. So the Lord our God gave into our hand Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we struck him down until he had no survivor left. And we took all the cities at that time. There was not a city that we did not take from them. 60 cities, the whole region of the Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, besides very many unwalled villages, and we devoted them to destruction as we did to Sihon the king of Heshbon, devoting to destruction every city, men, women, and children. But all livestock and the spoil of the cities we took as our plunder. So we took the land at the time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon. The Sidonians call Hermon Sirion, while the Amorites call it Sinir. All the cities of the tableland, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, as far as Selecah and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. For only Og, the king of Bashan, was left of the remnant of the Rephaim. Behold, was his bed was a bed of iron. Is it not in the Rabbah of the Ammonites? 9 cubits was its length, and 4 cubits its breadth, according to the common cubit. When we took possession of this land at that time, I gave to you the Reubenites and the Gadites, the territory beginning at Aror, which is on the edge of the valley of the Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its cities. The rest of Gilead and all Bashan, the king of Og, that is, all the region of Argob, I gave to the half tribe of Manasseh. All that portion of Bashan is called the land of Rephaim. Jair the Manassite took all the region of Argob, that is, Bashan, as far as the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites, and it is called the villages after his own name, Havoth Jair, as it is to this day. The Machir I gave Gilead, and to the Reubenites and the Gadites I gave the territory from Gilead as far as the valley of Arnon, with the middle of the valley as a border, as far as the river Jabbok. The border of the Ammonites, the Arabah also, with the Jordan as the border, from Chinnereth as far as the sea of the Arabah, the salt sea, under the slopes of Pisgah on the east. When we look at this, it could seem like, man, just a long, drawn out series of events. Yes, we know that God's people they faced opposition as they journeyed through the wilderness and as they made their way to the land of the Canaanites, that they faced opposition. But you see, when we only spend time just reading it as that, what we miss is what God was doing for his people and through his people. And not just winning these battles, not just defeating the enemy, but God letting them know that he is a promise maker and a promise keeper. And that those who stand in opposition to them, that God will, if they trusted in him and they relied upon him and they allowed him to command their battles, that they would experience victory. And when we look at this from the lens of seeing what God was able to do with these fortified cities, these were not just cities that just stepped back and said, "Oh no, here comes God's people, God's children. Let's get out of the way." These were armies that God said, "My people are on a mission." And my people, when they place their trust in me, when they allow me to guide them, I will help them through these battles. I will help them to be victorious through these battles. And the same goes for us. As we go throughout our days, when we place our trust in him, we serve a God who helps us in the midst of our daily battles. So that's your challenge today. How are you going to go about letting God command you, be your commander through those battles, to help you to experience victory, to help you to be one who can see those coming against them, and can know that greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. How are you going to let God help you to experience victory and to live in that victory and to proclaim that victory? I can't wait to hear how it goes. Y'all have a great day. God bless.